efface anguish and replace it by the sense of the one true happiness. If we could for even one moment in time truly conceive that I'm living in a sea of God, I'm breathing in a sea of God, the ground I'm sitting on is Mother, everything is Mother, everything is this beauty. Could we ever be unhappy in that moment when that conception is pulsating with life? It's not a mental, it's not in your PDF. Oh, this is in your PDF. When that conception is pulsating with life, it's not just a mental belief. You can never be unhappy. So Mother wants that for all of us, to efface anguish and replace it by the sense of the one true happiness. The happiness that is founded in thee, in seeing that everything is you, and the happiness that never fades. Huh? Yes, yes. Here lies adumbrated the most characteristic feature of her mission in the present life. She brings the pure divine love to redeem man from ignorance and suffering and restore to him his forgotten heritage of immortality and Godhead. This is her mission, to use divine love to redeem man from ignorance, the falsehood of living in a world divorced from the divine, and restore to him his forgotten heritage of immortality and Godhead. So Mother's whole mission is to use this phenomenon of love. So going back to a time when we are sitting at the Samadhi, and all of us must have experienced it, that we go in lackluster, we bow down, we are sitting, by and by our heart opens to love. We feel it's love for the Mother, but if you notice, when you're loving the Mother, you're automatically soft and kind to everyone around without your knowing it. You can't feel love for the Mother and be harsh to people around, because when you're loving Mother, you intuitively love her presence in all creation. You intuitively open to that without knowing it, without a mental conception of it.
Yeah, even it's like when we go anger,
everything dissolves, yes. So that's her mission, and she's doing it so beautifully, emanating constant pulsations of love from the Samadhi. She brings the pure divine love to redeem man from ignorance and suffering and restore to him his forgotten heritage of immortality and Godhead. Further, M.P. Pandit says, her ways are unique, but her personality is unique among the unique. Ever transcendent, she is yet intensely human. Unfathomable by the mind, she is deeply attainable by the heart. So Sri Aurobindo once said that if you're looking only with your mind and the Mother is standing in front of you, you won't recognize her. But even if your eyes are closed and your heart's open, you will feel her presence if she is miles away. So that's what she is. You can never understand her with your mind, but she is deeply attainable by the heart. One moment she individualizes herself for you. The next, she is far away in the vasts of the universe, which is a portion of her form. So there was a very sweet story of her and Udarji. When Golconde was being built, we needed many kind of nuts and bolts of a very specialized kind, which were just not available. So Udarji went to Mother and said, what do we do? So she said, well, if they are not available, build them, make them yourself, you're an engineer. So Udarji said, okay Mother, I can try, but I'll need money. So Mother said, okay, I'll give it to you, and she put a 1 rupee coin in his hand. And Udarji said, I got that coin and I received like such a blast of joy. somebody would feel despondent that she's giving me 1 rupee to do, what will I do? But she charged that 1 rupee with whatever she did. And Udarji said, if this is Mother's way of telling me that all I need is her force to make it happen. So he says, I worked sometimes 16 hours a day. I got a hole in my hand building things which are still there. But he did it. So she's individual and transcendent. She's interacting with him as a human being. But from her transcendent aspect, she's putting all the force that is needed for the work to be done. So that's what in the Gita, there are 2 kinds of flows in which we can do work. One is the flow of gunas and prakriti. The way prakriti makes you move, you'll do the work. And one is when I'm an instrument of the Parashakti, the higher prakriti. Then the way because this is an impossibility becoming possible, right? In 1 rupee, those of you who've seen Golconde, you know how many nuts and bolts there are, and specialized ones which you can't buy in the market. So to make that kind of thing happen, it's making an impossible thing possible, no? So in Sanskrit, one of the names of the Adi Shakti is Aghatan Ghatna Patayitri, the one whose skill is to make the impossible possible. So if we allow ourselves to be carried by the second flow, the flow of just being instruments in her hand, and she makes everything happen, we'll be amazed at what's done through us in ways that we can't even imagine. But it's about opening ourselves to that higher flow, and there's no technique to it. We don't even know how to do it. But perhaps if we know how to love the Mother and again come back to that love and aspiration, that's all we can do. That bit by bit opens us up to that higher flow which then flows through us.